What is up, YouTube? AlphonZeus of Team Gradelock here with another episode of Team Gradelock Unlocks the League. We're going to be going over the latest Card Fight Vanguard episode, Ride 166, as well as results from our local and any more news that we have from Team Gradelock to you, our subscribers. So let's get right into it. Ride 166. Spoiler alert, you haven't seen the episode yet, please pause and close the video, go watch that episode, and then come back right here so we can discuss about it. Of course, if you don't want to do that, please click on the link in the description down below just to get to the results of our local. So Ride 166, Aichi Shadow. This episode, of course, we don't have subtitles yet, so it's hard for me to try and understand the raw Japanese. I have taken some Japanese classes before, just 1 and 2, but of course I'm not that fluent yet to understand just a raw episode of an anime, such as Card Fight Vanguard. Now, as we start off the episode, we see Kai and Misaki just, sitting together outside, wondering, okay, what's going on? Now they both remember who Aichi is. Well, Kai, of course, ever since the beginning of the season. So we have here a meeting of some of the more prominent secondary characters that we have here. And they're being thrusted into the main spotlight since Aichi is erased from everyone's existence. And so it seems that they're trying to understand how can we get people to remember who Aichi is. There has to be somebody behind this. And what can we do in order to do this? And so you see Misaki, it seems that she was talking very fondly of Aichi and Kai. I don't know if someone mentioned in the comments down below, one of the raw episodes that was uploaded either on YouTube or another website, that, Kai was somewhat blushing or something similar like that. I'm not totally sure, but of course, feel free to just look that up and comment down below with that thought. Now, next thing we move on to, we see Naoki at school, and then he collides with another familiar face from Season 3, Shingo. And as he drops his books, you see all his textbooks, as well as a card fight magazine featuring Team Ultra Rare minus Korin. And so we have here a reunion, actually, of two of the secondary characters, or the more prominent secondary characters, from Season 3 in here. Now, it seems that we were going to have an actual card fight between Naoki and Shingo. However, it gets interrupted because now we get to see one of the newer characters step into the spotlight and participate in a card fight. Namely, apparently, it's a mysterious butler. I do not know the name of it in particular, but of course I need to look him up and just provide him with the name somehow. And so now we get to see a fight between the brawlers of Naokami with the Mega Colony Machinega. So we finally get to see that Mega Colony support, like I said before, and it's going to be completely exciting because then when they start off the battle with Naoki going on the aggression, already giving him like 2-3 damage already by the time he rises grade 1, which is insane because he probably did critical trigger. However, we get to see this mysterious butler who, you can probably think of his name from trying to research it up, Sebastian, but if I'm wrong, of course, correct me. Now, he gets his stun off where he kind of like baffles Naoki to say, oh, you can't stand this person anymore. Well, of course, Naoki probably hasn't been introduced to the stand or the stun function of Mega Colony, since Mega Colony was almost nowhere to be seen for at least Season 3. We only get to see him in like maybe Season 2, I guess, but still, it's new to him, and he, of course, along with Shingo, is a bit, oh, what's going on here? Even though Shingo is actually a bit more of a Card Fight Vanguard fan than Naoki. And so, as we see this battle progress on to the Grade 3 rides, we see Cyclomatus already setting up for that break ride, and we see Naoki setting up for his Legion. Now, the thing is, throughout this whole fight, we get to see some flashbacks to the butler, or I'll just call him Sebastian for now, where he actually tries to go under this test, or at least his conversation with some of the members of the newer group of characters that were introduced into Season 4. And so, I'm not sure exactly what they're trying to say. It seems that they want to eliminate anyone who remembers even the slightest hint of who Aichi was and what he did, because apparently they'll just completely obliterate that world, because it seems like this is a false reality that they are claiming to be, and they're trying to get everybody else that's not realizing it, like Kai, Misaki, and Naoki, that Aichi actually did exist. And so, it seems that that's their goal. I don't know if I would call this like a reversing thing, but it seems like they were on a very different level of skill. And it seems like some of these characters, at least from what we see from the butler, they don't know about Legion yet because they're still using the limit break. But that's at least, of course, we just see this one fighter. And so before we get to see Naoki use that Legion skill, we get to see the break ride of Cyclomatus to stun the entire field of the opponent. And Naoki and Shingo are just flabbergasted because they, oh, whoa, you stunned my entire field, my vanguard and my rear guards? Well then, sir, you definitely have a legitimate strategy, and you have to literally try and see what in the world can I do. Well, of course, this is what Naoki does. He performs Legion. And so by performing Legion, you put 4 cards in the drop zone, put them back in the deck, and then look at that, you get to search for that Legion and then perform Legion right on the Vanguard circle for 2 units. And of course, kind of like the theme that they're going with the Legion skills, just to center around the clan. When you perform Legion, you choose somebody in the front row and retire it. And then there's another brawler in particular that where you counterblast and you get to retire a person in the same column of it. So you get rid of an entire column by just counterblasting one. So you perform Legion, which you can only do once, but still it's a game changer. And then you get to counterblast again, counterblast one, and then you can retire the booster behind it. Therefore, you get rid of 2 units. Wow. And so the butler now is extremely, whoa, what is this? I don't know what Legion is, but it's really scaring the crap out of me. And of course, you know, some people will say, oh, this is new, I don't know why they're doing this, but still, it's Legion, no more limit break, at least for now, but we'll see what happens in the future, especially when we go on to Season 4 and we see other card fights, especially including some of the clans that we see. Because one of the other interesting parts, especially in the intro, we get to see a little bit of a hint of what's the theme of some of these decks. We get to see one of the people that kind of looks strangely like Aichi, or another member that uses an ice. So we're going to see a new ice clan? I don't know. I would like to see a new clan introduced into this meta, because it seems that, especially to some posts on the North American Cardfight Vanguard group, that, you know, one person's thinking, maybe we should have an ice clan, because I haven't seen anybody that utilizes this ice. You only see water, which is pretty much the you know, the water clans such as Bermuda Triangle, Aqua Force, Grand Blue. It's nice. It's Magellanica. I'm just gonna call it that so I don't spend any more time. But now you get to see a different clan. Hopefully it's gonna be a brand new one, because I like how they keep introducing clans and really push them how they're doing. Because of course in Season 1 you have like the Crossride units, which is insane. For Season 2, when they encounter Leon, you have, oh wow, this is okay. You have Aqua Force, which is really being hyped up. Season 3, you get to see the Link Joker. In Season 4, we're probably going to have and hopefully some new support, because I want to see what regions for everybody is going to be like. And hopefully it's going to be interesting to even watch. Now, as you get to that end of the fight, we get to see that final damage that's being thrown. It seems that he was at 5 damage, and when Naoki performed that Legion, it was just, okay, he got a 6. But then it seemed like if he didn't get that 6 damage, the butler just rage quit and just left the room, through the window, and wondering, okay, what's going on? I think he won because, you know, I think he dealt him his last damage, if not his 5th, and then the butler just leaves. And now I get to see what in the world is going on. But however, this episode, it doesn't seem that Shingo doesn't know who Aichi is yet, or he doesn't realize it yet. So hopefully in the next episode we get to see a little card fight between Naoki and Shingo, so Shingo can join that list of people along with Naoki and Misaki that Aichi actually did exist, and they were really stupid to just forget Aichi in the first place. But of course this was probably just a whole false reality plan planned by those people, the new group of characters that were introduced in Season 4. Now, of course, if you guys see anything else in the episode that I did not pick up on, feel free to comment down below for that. And now let's get right to the results of our local. Now, I was able to show up on 2 tournaments this week, so I was there on Friday for the tag team tournament, as well as Saturday for the singles tournament. Friday, I was able to go, there were 6 teams total. I actually entered with this new kid, Tom, and, you know, he was little, and he won. I guess I gave him some practice with the Dimensional Police Dimensional Robo deck, so I entered with the Joker. And so, first game we went up against Henry and Alex, and Tom was Gradelock at grade 1, so we kind of set up for disaster right there, and I should have told him to Superior Ride because he already was 1 grade behind, and in the tag match, that's definitely where you not want to be, especially if you want to keep guarded. Second game we went up against Miguel and Brian, I think. I'm sorry, I forgot if I got your name wrong. He was running, I think, Nova Grapplers and Shadow Paladin Avengers, and no, it was actually Zeal, Dimensional Police Zeal, and Revengers. And the Revenger player unfortunately got grade stuck at 0, and I had to really try and tell Tom, Tom, we don't really want to taunt because of course everyone's gonna be in that situation. Of course, he's a little kid. It's, you know, you just gotta keep telling him, like, yo, okay, you really stop that now because you're showing him pretty hard. And that's not cool at all. And so, yeah, I had to team up with Tom because there was really nobody else available at that time. Because I usually don't show up on Fridays, but at least this Friday I was able to. And so, after that, we went up to Game 3 where we faced off against Jason and Joe. Jason going up with Link Joker, and Joe going up with Revengers. And it was pretty much a good match. We had to figure out how in the world we can get it, but I just had my hand really depleted and I couldn't really do much. So that's how we ended up losing that match and we were knocked out. The people who topped though, there was CK and Vin, CK with Revengers and uh, CK with Avengers and Vin with the Narukami. And it was because Joe got grade stuck, and that was a really big blow. But the top two teams were definitely Henry and Alex, and CK and Vin, so they got their packs, and you know, they pulled pretty broken from what I saw. They got some hollows, especially Henry. And then we went on to Saturday's tournament where we had 24 people at Game On, which is insane because that's a lot of people. That's probably the most people we had in a couple months, actually. Because I know the last time we had a record-breaking people, we had 23, 22 people, and seeing 24, wow, that's insane. And then we get to see at least a new group of people that showed up, at least from my knowledge, because there may be one or two of those people in that group that showed up before, maybe 2 weeks ago, but of course I wasn't there because I was down in West Virginia. So I'll go over my rounds. My first round I was up against John. He was running Link Joker. I was running the Dimensional Robos for the second week now, and I got grade stuck at 1, and so he beat me 2-0. And then second round I went up against, trying to remember who. I think I went up against Greg. He was one of the new people there, and I managed to beat him 2-0 because first round he got grade locked, and then second round I got that Daikaiser skill off. And then the third round I went up against Henry, and he was running Narukami. He pretty much locked me out of anything because of that crazy ass skill with Valiant Sword Reverse, just to completely control my field, and I can't really do anything about it. And then fourth round I went up against Tom, and he was running Spike Rose, and I managed to at least get my combos off, especially with the Daikaiser Break Ride, because I managed to get at least Daikaiser skill off once in that game to deal him damage. And then I just managed to at least control the field, so he didn't even have time to break ride or even use W skill. So I had to really control the field in that aspect. And then fifth round I went up against Robinson. He was another new person running Gold Paladins, Liberators with Garmor, just regular Garmor. And I managed to beat him twice in a row because first game he got grade locked. And second game, I managed to get Daikaiser skill off when I drove check Die Dragon, and I had Great Daiusa break right over, so I was swinging for 3 damage, and you know, just like, alright, he put a 10k and 3 5k shields for a 15k shield block. I was swinging for 28k with 3 damage on board. And so, okay, I drive check 1, okay, it's a grade 2, I drive check 3, I got Great Daiusa, I retired the 10k shield, and therefore when I retire that 10k shield, he only has 15k shield left, which means that I can break through, and boom, I just won by eliminating that 10k shield, which was extremely vital for him to not take that 3 damage, because if so, I was going to lose next turn because I didn't have that much guard back. And I went 3-2, so it was alright. I did pretty good, although I did not top because, of course, with the system, the earlier rounds that you win, the better chance you have of topping, as long as you end up with a 3-2 rating or greater. So that's pretty much how the game works. But the top 8 turned out to be Henry versus Rob. There was John versus Ryan. Oh no, John versus Sean. Sean, who was running the Schwarzschild with Joker in one of our previous matches. And then we had Ryan versus Josh, and Joe versus Adam. And then when it cut to top 4, we had Henry. He won his match with Valiant Sword Reverse, and Josh with Crossride Dragonic Overlord at the end. And then we had John with Link Joker. And fourth, we had Adam with Tachikaze Ancient Dragon. So it was pretty good top 4. At least each one was running a different clan. And so they managed to pull some cards. I know that Henry pulled all 3 triple rares from the new box. Again, Garmor Liberator, the Nebula Lord, and Raging Horn. So that was actually pretty broken on his part. And then I think Alex pulled a Dantarian Break Ride, as well as Narukami, Counterboss 2 and Draw. So at least there was some pretty good pulls. At least everybody in the top 4 pulled at least 1 hollow, and you know, did all right with it. So then pretty much with the local results, it was pretty good. We had a really good crowd. I liked it, and you know, I'm glad that the Vanguard crowd is growing, and I hope it continues to grow, especially with the impact it had at Game On, and how many people show up every single week to these tournaments. It's really nice to have a strong community there. And so in terms of Vanguard news, we have the actual list that I can bring up right now for the release schedule for everything else, for all the other sets, so we know exactly what else we're gonna have in the year 2014. Because oh dear, there's gonna be so much hype, because now my wallet is gonna hurt so much more. So let's just see what we got here. We got let's see, where is the, trying to find that deck. Because apparently we're gonna get set 14 and 15 this year. We're gonna get the Bermuda Triangle extra boosted this year as well, and we're gonna get a Fighters Collection 2014. Hopefully, are we gonna get a Musketeers, as some people wanted to get? Maybe so, or maybe get some other support for some other clans that can be really good for the diversity of clans. Because I know in the top 3 we had Link Joker clans. I mean, top 8 we had 3 Link Joker clans, 2 Narukami, a Kagero, a Jewel Knight, Royal Paladin, and Tachikaze. And wow, that's just a lot of stuff happening. And according to what we're gonna get, including all those decks and trial decks and stuff, it's, oh man, I'm extremely hyped to see like how else it's gonna play out. Now, of course, with the immediate releases that we're gonna have very soon. In April, we're going to have the Extra Boost of Mystical Magus, and I'm so hyped for that. I do want to play this deck so bad, and main Magus, although Dimensional Robos are starting to keep a place in my heart, as well as Bermuda Triangles. And then May 2nd, we're actually going to be getting Catastrophic Outbreak on May 2nd, which is interesting because the regional comes out after, at least in New York. And then in June, we're going to get 2 extra boosters that are going to definitely do some major support for both Nova Grapplers and Kageros, because now you get Kagero Grade 4 Transcendence Novell, and you get to have the Ashura Kaiser cross ride, as well as the Blau Kruger cross ride with an SP, perfect guard. So that's going to be a very nice thing to have. And I hope that this is going to really, like, generate even more surge for the Vanguard crowd, even more. And in terms of buddy fight, we're starting to get a bit better with it. We're trying to have more tournaments. We just need more people to come out for them. I do like playing buddy fight, although yeah, it's a short game. Although some games can last longer than others because people gain life a lot, or it's just a lot of attacks that try to really eliminate field. And it's really good. I do like playing the game a lot, more than I like playing some other card games, even like Magic, and even starting to fade out Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit, which is crazy. And so I think that this future for Bushiroad products, at least for those 2 card games, are really good, really bright. And with Wei Schwartz, I can't believe they're gonna have at the Vanguard regional, it's going to be having also a buddy fight and a Wei Schwartz tournament as well. So that gives me even more incentive to bring my decks in. So just in case if I scrub out at the team league, I can enter these tournaments as well and see if I can win anything. I guess aside from that, we do have a few casual series matches up for you. I'm just waiting on John to send me the rest of the matches for the first one, and then we have a second match planned up on Thursday. I finally did an Unlock the Team episode featuring Henry, one of OGs of Team Gradelock, maybe not Team Iron Man as we were once called before, but at least an OG of Team Gradelock. And then we also have a casual series featuring a buddy fight match. So I'm looking forward to putting up all of that content for you over this week. And of course, if you guys have any suggestions for any videos you would like to see, like do you want to see anything more? I know Henry's definitely planning to put up a King of the Ring segment. If you guys want that, feel free to comment down below. If you want to see anything else from our channel, like we are really open to getting subscribers, keeping them, and providing you guys with quality video content you guys want to watch throughout the course of the week, so we can really grow this YouTube channel and do a lot more like awesome things for you guys. And of course, if you have any more suggestions, feel free to comment down below or send us a direct message. And yeah, I guess that'll be it for this week's episode of Team Gradelock Unlocks the Week. I am your host, AlphonZeus, and I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. And I hope you all have a great day, week, night, etc. And take care. Team Gradelock.